Hey everyone, welcome. It's Dr. Nic and Mike Sebastian, the Dream Team, coming to you from Divine Guidance Institute, Modern Day Mystery School, teaching you the ancient way of knowing so you never get blindsided again. Today is Veterans Day. Yes, this is dedicated to all the veterans out there. We've got some great tips for you and a book giveaway, little gift rather, not a giveaway, but a gift. Yeah, we're going to kick it off with the veteran himself, Michael Sebastian. Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, I'm the veteran. Mike, you can call me Mikey Mike. Right now, I'm a Detroit veteran. And hey, just to give you a little background and what we're going to provide today. It's the problem initially with me. I was in Vietnam, 68, 69, Big Tet Offensive, crazy times in terms of the war there. And when I got back from Vietnam, I had severe PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. So they didn't really understand it at the time. They had a name for it, but in terms of what they need to do, how to address it, how to heal it, how to cure it, they really didn't know. So I was suffering from what? I had anxiety every day, anxiety, depression. I was pretty much depressed on and off almost every day. Suicidal ideation, yeah. Nightmares, I'd wake up in the middle of the night sweating from, once again, I'd replay those things in my mind back in Vietnam. And I didn't know what to do for it. I called the VA and they said, yeah, come on in and we'll give you some treatment for it. But they didn't really have any treatment other than put some meds on it at the time. Before I went to the VA and saw a doc and went through therapy, I found the Hue. And really, what it did for me was I started hewing on a daily basis, like hue. It's a sound vibrational technique. Sound vibrational technique. Hue. And I had no idea whether this technique was going to work, whether it was going to help me, whether it was going to heal me. But I thought, hey, give it a chance. No harm in trying. And very quickly, almost almost immediately, I noticed my anxiety started subsiding. My depression wasn't anywhere near as severe, and it didn't occur as often. And many times I would hew just before I fell asleep. And guess what? The nightmares subsided. The nightmares started going away. And that's when I realized the hue was what we really call one magic word. I mean, it's two letters, it's simple, it's hue. And these things on a daily basis started dropping off. All my dramatic symptoms. It had literally caused havoc. And, I'd hear a car backfire and I'd duck. Somebody was walking in back of me. I could not handle that. I'd have to stop, turn around, let them pass me because I was so paranoid from the PTSD created from my Vietnam tour. Nightmares were off the scale every single night. So it was very, very debilitating, to say the least. And using the hue really was the solution for me. I found out through experience, and believe me, I was skeptical. I had no idea it would heal me. A simple sound, that simple, hue. Yes, that's what it did for me, and it worked for me. Eventually, my symptoms were eradicated, and I was back to being a normal human being, all because of one magic word, which is what I call it now, the hue.
Hey, the hue, yes. And you guys know, most of you have listened in before, so you're familiar. But in case not, in case this is the first time, the hue comes from the word human. The word human is in the Oxford English Dictionary. It actually means God within man, God man. It's that spark within us, our higher self, the best version of ourselves. That's what we end up tapping into when you start hewing. And it's based on vibroacoustic therapy. Vibroacoustic therapy is typically you use an apparatus outside of yourself, a speaker, a pillow, a chair, a CD, and you listen to the sound and vibration, and it affects your cells. You use something outside of yourself. Well, the cool thing with the hue, you actually don't need an outside apparatus. You can do it outside, out loud rather, or silently, eyes open or closed. You can do it while you're doing the dishes or while you're sitting in a meeting and have this same effect. And when I say same effect, it's much more than that, because it hits you at a subatomic level. You've got your central nervous system and your cells, your subatomic particles. All we are is energy that vibrates at a certain rate and frequency. So you're affecting the base of who and what we are when we hue. That's why it is so effective. It's from the inside out, works on autopilot. You can think about it, or again, do it out loud, up to 20 minutes a day. You can do a 5-minute session or 2 10-minute sessions, or you can just think about it throughout the day. And, whatever works for you, but it comes in handy. Like Michael mentioned, for his PTSD, ultimately it eradicated the PTSD. And that reminds me of another client I had. He had severe PTSD as well. The tank, actually, he was in a Jeep, and the tank rolled over the Jeep. Not a Humvee. No, a tank rolled over a Jeep. Yeah, so severe PTSD from that accident, that traumatic incident. People died in the vehicle. It was really, really something. Anyway, he added the hue. We started working together, and within a couple months, no more nightmares, no more PTSD, no more alcohol. Seriously, it handled everything. And he had been dealing with this. We just worked together like a year and a half ago or a year ago. And he had been dealing with this ever since Vietnam. So we're talking what, 40 years or something? I don't know. How many years, Michael? Yeah, like 40.
Yeah,
40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And just hewing within 2 months, everything changed. Everything changed. So for you veterans, it's your day. That's why anyone listening who's a veteran, try it. And anyone who's listening that knows a veteran, share this podcast with him or her, please. It really makes a difference. Where nothing else will, therapy, talk therapy, meds and this and that, you add the hue to your regimen, even if you have no regimen. You just add the hue technique. We call it one magic word. We call it one-step solution. We also call it one-step therapy. Anyway, so if you add this, you share it with your people, and then they add it, they're going to notice things shifting rapidly. So yeah, it's the best thing you could do. And I've got some other techniques I want to share with you, but I'm going to throw back to Michael for a minute.
Yeah, it's as the veteran, and I'm the one who received the gift, the benefit, and I was skeptical at the front end. I didn't even know like this thing is going to work. I thought, well, no harm in trying. I'll try anything at this point. I was desperate. And who wants to live with, severe PTSD on a daily basis? So this gift, and I experienced it as a healing. So I know for sure. So I'm very, very emphatic about sharing it with other veterans now and getting the hue out there to anyone who needs it, because I know it works, and I know it's quick, effective, efficient. And that's why we call it one magic word. And I did some, started doing research. I was really curious. Obviously, this thing healed me. Like, what is it? And I found out it's a simple quantum physics technique, and everything at a quantum level. And this is pure physics. Everything at a quantum level is pure vibrations. Everything in your couch looks like a couch, and the cat looks like a cat. But quantum physicists will tell you at a quantum level, literally, they are simply vibrations at a different frequency. Everything has a different frequency. So I have a frequency. You have a frequency. Your friends and spouses have a different frequency. That's why we're all different. We vibrate. It's called, vibroacoustic frequency. And at a certain level, when we hue it goes in and alters that frequency. It puts us back in harmony with our true self, with our frequency that exists, that makes us unique. And when I go back into being in harmony with that frequency. Suddenly, I feel good. And I'm feeling joy, and I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling balanced, and that's because I am. And the cool part for me was that it happens quickly, and it happened almost instantaneously. And that part I couldn't quite get over. It took me a long time. And I went back and I researched a lot of it, and I found out that there's a whole history to hue, to sound therapy, if you want to call it that goes back thousands of years into all the way back into Greece and all the way back into Egypt. They use sound also to power different things and to heal people. So I had stumbled across it, but I wanted to share it with you because today's Veterans Day, and it's probably the very best gift that I could share with you.
Yeah, well, the Aborigines, they used to do it 40,000 years ago. This is how long this has been going on, people using sound. The Aborigines used to use the didgeridoos, and in ancient Greece, they used to use sound and vibration for healing. And in Egypt, they used to use the pyramids for sound and healing chambers. And so here we are. That's why the ancient tools are the best. Divine Guidance Institute, once again, using sound, dreams, signs, intuition. These innate tools, these innate abilities, they're built in. They're ancient tools. Nowadays, people don't use them much, if at all. That's why we're here. That's why we manifested the nonprofit, Divine Guidance Institute, to bring all of this back to you now. If you were alone on an island, you'd be able to hew. You'd have your dreams and signs and intuition. You don't need an outside apparatus or another individual. And that's how you know when something is real. It comes from within. It's not that you do need, another person or a pill, an outside thing. It's like getting back to basics, if you will. Once again, you don't have to change any regimen you are doing. You would simply add the hue to your current protocol. I'm going to give you a few more techniques right now. Breathing. To hit your theta really quick, your theta brain wave, there's a certain healing technique. You inhale for 4, you hold for 8 seconds, you exhale for 16, and you hold for 4. Again, you inhale for 4, you hold for 8 seconds, you exhale for 16 seconds, and then you hold for 4 seconds. This is pretty extreme. Though it's easy. It's not, it's just more extreme than other modalities you would use. There's the 5-5-5 and the 4-8-4 in terms of the seconds, but you want to hit the theta state, which is the closest state to your higher self, creativity, and all the other benefits from breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 8, exhale for 16, hold for 4. And again, the biggest part of breathing and any technique that you'll use, the main thing is a long, slow exhale. That's where the magic happens, on the exhale. A long, slow exhale. So no matter which method you use or in terms of time, just know the long, slow exhale is where the magic happens, okay? And I want to give you a few other techniques. Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to say you can, this is a really good technique that Nicole just described to be used with the hue because it silences the mind. It's shut, and you'll feel it. Try 3 deep breaths where you exhale like that. 3 deep breaths, 1, 2, 3, and by the second or third breath, you'll hear less chatter inwardly from the mind. And I know you hear a lot of it because I hear a lot of it. It's constant. The mind never shuts up. And after I've done 3 deep breaths, it's like, whoa, the mind just shuts down. That opens that door to hewing. And then hew right after the third breath, and that hew takes you into literally a new healing state of consciousness. But the breathing at the front end, 3 deep breaths I recommend, and then hewing just really starts the flow. You'll feel it, and combine them together because together they're a fantastic, effective, efficient tool.
Nice, nice, nice. Hey, let's go back to a few other tools and techniques for the PTSD for you veterans. Okay, so we've got the hew, we've got the theta breathing, right? Nightmares, nightmares, nightmares. Of course, the hew always works. You hew right before bed. It's going to put you in a different frequency so you don't have a nightmare. But let's say you've got some ongoing nightmares. You can rescript the nightmare. You give it a different ending on paper. It will actually change inwardly. So you change the ending. Michael usually gives some examples like instead of the monster chasing you, you turn around and shoot the monster. You turn around and chase the monster. The monster vanishes type thing. So it depends on, what the nightmare is. But the bottom line is you change the negative part within that nightmare on paper, and it actually changes inwardly.
Yeah, we control it all. So we're manifesting that nightmare, believe it or not. The old line, the truth, you can't handle the truth. I couldn't handle the truth, but I had engrams, which are stuck points with the PTSD from Vietnam. So I was having the nightmares, the flashbacks, because they were so traumatic, and I couldn't get rid of them. And that's what the hue does. It erases those engrams, and it allows us, the technique that Nicole was describing really allows you, by focusing on a different ending to the nightmare, it rescripts it inwardly. We control all that. It's not like we're the victim. We are in one sense, but this tool automatically empowers us to be the creator and not the victim. And by rescripting, suddenly it goes away and there's a happy ending. The nightmares begin to go away. It's a phenomenal technique.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so we got the theta breathing, we got the nightmare rescripting, we got the hue, we got one magic word for really everything. We call it one magic word, the universal panacea for all that ails you. So there's nothing you can't use the hue for. Even the other day I was vacuuming and I decided to hue, just to think about the hue. Think hue while I was vacuuming. And it immediately reminded me of two things. I had to schedule a meeting. I had to and cancel another appointment. So the minute I focused on the hue, it reminded me of things I had forgotten. The hue takes it up a notch. It takes you to another level. The ohm, okay. And people always ask, what's the difference between the hue and the ohm? The ohm takes you, beyond the emotional state. So it helps with your emotions and things and a sense of well-being. But the hue actually goes above duality, the planes of duality. That's when it locks into the right and left brain, activating both, accessing all the data between the right and the left. This is why it's so superior. It's quicker. And again, like you go ahead and think hue while you're vacuuming, and it reminds you of things you forgot. Schedule this appointment, cancel this. It's amazing, and only if you try it are you going to know. This is a really cool story from a client. This just happened a week ago. She was supposed to take a mathematical placement exam at college for the past year, an entire year. She had blown it off, procrastinated, not been in the mood, whatever. And we talked, and I know about this. Okay. And then she also, 2 weeks ago in the session, we keep talking about the test every week and her gearing up to take it. Then the other thing she said, you know what, Nicole, I started scrolling a lot. Now I'm an avid scroller on social media. It's driving me crazy. I don't even like this stuff, and I'm scrolling all the time. So and she knows about the Hue because she's used the Hue, mind you, to get off methadone, to get off cigarettes, to get off all of her psychotropics and everything. So she knows the Hue works. So I said, hey, why don't you increase the Hue? You're not doing it much lately because you're busy and you kind of forgot about it. Why don't you add the Hue and increase the Hue and see what's up? And then we'll talk in a week. Okay, great. So we talked this last Tuesday, a week ago, and she said, you know what? I took my placement exam and I placed calculus, and I'm not scrolling, and I'm not even watching that much TV. All this happened in 1 week. 1 week, she added the Hue, a test she's been putting off for a year got completed, and no more scrolling, which was becoming a really bad addiction. 1 week. So add the Hue, folks. Just add that Hue. It really, and it doesn't, you don't have to program it. Whatever your thing is, your area, it just goes in and conquers it, fixes it, adds to it.
It's the best gift that we could provide for you. And, it's especially a gift here on Veterans Day. And it worked for me, and it worked quickly, effectively. And I couldn't believe it. It literally erased all the PTSD. Yeah. What?
Two things. One, we have an actual gift. If you email us, we will email you our one-step therapy, just say Hue, universal panacea for all that ails you book. Mm-hmm. So today we're doing a gift for veterans. You just email us if you're a veteran, and we will send you a copy in the electronic version, certainly, of our book, just say
Mm-hmm.
Hue. So that's the veteran gift for today. And also, it's 11/11. We cannot close the show without talking about 11/11. We are, after all, a modern day mystery school. What the hell? 11/11, yes. Everyone talks about 11/11 and the meaning and this, that, and the other. Well, today's November 11th. So, spiritually, at the moment of 11/11, it means instruction, receiving and giving instruction, meaning what are you sending out into the world, and what are you receiving at a higher level. That occurs at the moment of 11/11, AM, PM, every day. It happens twice, right? Today it's all day. It's 11/11.
It's an open door. That's the way I've always seen it and pictured it. It's easy for me. At 11/11, the door is open. So whatever I want to manifest, whatever I am giving, you can bet that I'm going to receive. So it's a really good, I'd say, reminder of the manifestation process where we have an open door to the other side, to the inner, and we can bring in whatever we want for us. And use the Hue for that manifesting. You'll notice things start, not only getting better for you immediately, but also coming in for you, things that you have manifested and been working on for a long, long time. So there you go. You got the gift and you got the procedure, and all you need to do is try it. And it's so quick. Try it, and you will feel it, know it, and eventually become it.
Hey, so here's our email if you want a copy. If you're a veteran, yes, receive the gift. You can email us at info@divineguidanceinstitute.org. info@divineguidanceinstitute.org. Yep. Just shoot us a quick line. Say, hey, I'm a veteran. Send me your book type thing. And also, let's see, we're going to close. So we talked about 11/11, and totally, the show was totally devoted to the veterans and the non-veterans, because everyone can use the technique, as you're well aware of. But we wanted to highlight the PTSD factor today.
And everybody has PTSD to some extent today, considering the crazy times. So you're going through some anxiety or feeling depression, a lot of fear and stress. And, go ahead and use this tool, because you'll notice, whoa, wow, I'm starting to feel in harmony again. And those symptoms simply have vanished. Where'd they go? Yeah, well, the Hue just erased them. That's what happened.
Yeah. And We also work with veterans, so be sure to, get in touch if you need a session or whatever. As a nonprofit, we do all kinds of things, pro bono and whatnot. Be sure to contact us. Come to the website, divineguidanceinstitute.org. You can get our books, do it yourself. You can contact us, email us. You can give a donation, which helps DGI and helps the people, certainly, with their ailments and whatnot. And let's see, what else? Oh, there's a free course on there, mini course, Dream Decoder mini course. You can sign up. And I think that's about it for now. We will talk to you soon.
Yeah, have a great Veterans Day, guys. Okay, and be sure to use the you.
All righty, signing off. Talk soon. Bye.